Like to welcome everybody to another edition of the Major Music Lounge podcast. It's your boy D Dot, along with D Skillz and Black Chakra.
Yes, sir.
Chakra,
Chakra. Yeah.
Chakra. I got you. Yeah, man. As we was talking before this, I got a chance to listen to Liberated Scarfaces. Dope cover, by the way. Got y'all kind of like the Scarface cover. Um, but yeah, I got a chance to listen to it. And from your first interview, these skills, to now, just still consistent. Really been watching you the whole time, you've been on the show until now, as far as you've been working, doing shows, and just staying consistent, man. So big up to you on that, man. How you been though?
I've been doing well. Recently I was just at the Loud Fest in Texas,
Okay.
and that was a great event. Shout out to Neo G and Avant Music Company for sponsoring me and helping me get out there. Mystique from DBL Records also had a large part in that, but like it went well. That was my first time performing in the South. You know what I mean? I've
Okay.
performed in Baltimore, I performed in New York, I've performed in DC and Virginia and several other places on the East Coast. That was my first time performing in the South.
Okay. Yeah, H-Town, right?
Yeah, it was in Katy, so it was like next to Houston. It was like a half
Yeah,
hour.
yeah, yeah. Man, I wish I'd have known, bro. I might have pulled up, man, because I'm actually from there about 3 hours. So
Oh, word. Okay.
yeah, man. If you ever doing that again, definitely get at me, bro. And
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
holler
try.
at you. We're doing two shows down there later this year.
Okay, man. And Black man, what's good with you, man? First time on the show, definitely welcome. How have you been? And tell us a little bit about your background as far as a creator. How long have you been creating everything?
Um, the first creation I had was this paper mache thing I did in third grade. And that's when I realized hip hop was for me. No, seriously. I've been doing hip hop, writing hip hop verses and poetry since I was 8 years old. I've always been infatuated with the culture, and because of that, like the hip hop sounds of the '90s, the type of lyricist, the type of songwriting, it's more than just a time period for me. I think it was a great encapsulation of what hip hop can be if everyone is trying. Like I don't want to say that hip hop was more conscious in the '90s or anything. I just think that everybody was trying their hardest to be the best lyricist, and the lyricists that I was listening to inspired me. So that's the kind of mentality I've brought into my adulthood as a spoken word artist and as an MC. And that's kind of like the branch of my creativity, like consistently writing, working. I mean, there was a time with the MCs I was listening to were very much so pushing me, it's hard to listen to a Method Man and want to be whack. It's hard to listen to Redman and want to
Yeah,
be whack. It's hard to listen
Or
to
Doom. You feel it?
Doom, Big L.
MF.
These people who were inspiring me. I was like, clearly the people I want to be have reached a level. And I don't know. I'm not a naturally talented person. My talent is being able to get in front of people. Being talented as hip hop lyricism, that's not something I was talented with. That's something I had to learn and program and practice and work at for my entire life, really. So that's kind of how I've developed into the person I am.
Yeah, man. And I mean, you said a lot right there in terms of, just talking about almost kind of like the last thing you said of you're not necessarily talented as a, I guess, a person, but more so the artist. And I say that to say a lot more of like your more introverted type of people are usually great artists, to go with that. So, I could definitely relate to you on that. And sound like you've been creating for a very long time. Now, were you a spoken word artist first, or were you a rap artist first?
I was a rap artist first. And I love hip hop. Like it's like the very soul. I feel like I'm only as good of a spoken word artist as I am because I have a great understanding of hip hop. Hip hop to me is the most advanced form of poetry there is. I
Yeah,
have learned that there are a lot of rappers who can write a spoken word piece. Not that they'll be good, but there are a lot of rappers who can transition to spoken word. There are not a lot of spoken word artists who can transition into hip hop,
yeah,
especially onto the level of lyricism that I would hold to a standard. It's difficult. You think of a hip hop, you think we write raps every day, so it's very common for us. But for the average person, First, there's a beat. And then you have to create an internal rhythm because your flow can either match the beat perfectly. If the beat going dun 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 dun, you could go dun 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 dun, or you create a new rhythm on top of that beat. So essentially, first thing you have to do is have an ear for sound, and then you have to create new rhythms. Then you have to create words that match the rhythm, and they have to rhyme within that rhythm. So you have to stay on this rhythm while creating words. Now these words have to have a subject, and then that subject has to not just rhyme, stay on rhythm, and have to have double entendres, similes, metaphors, punchlines. And then you have to create a hook. These are complicated writing things that Black people are just gifted and talented with because of years of listening to the music and gaining an understanding and a self-knowledge of them. That being said, trying to teach that to other people, well, you just explained calculus to a fish. Hip hop is very complicated. So for me, the knowledge of spoken word and how poetry can exist in all its forms existed in hip hop. And the reason I went to spoken word is because I'm a lyricist. The words are everything to me. And I stood on a stage doing a hip hop show and I spit a verse at the time that was one of my best verses. And the crowd was very just head nodding. And then I told the DJ, cut the beat. And I spit the same verse, and every 2 bars they reacted. By the time I got through the 16, I was like, I think I might want to be in an art form that just appreciates the lyricism.
Yeah,
Hip hop wasn't giving me that at the time, but thanks to artists like Griselda and Joey Badass, J.I.D., Kendrick,
Rock
Marciano, there has been this resurgence of like people validating the lyricist. And I was like, oh yeah, this is the good time to come back.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, and I told Dee Skillz this last time he was on the show, but just hearing the vibe from your album, Liberated Scarfaces, I get kind of that Benny the Butcher, type vibe, old school hip hop type vibe. And I feel like, even a lot of the guests that's been on the show in general, they've all kind of had a similar vibe to that. And a lot of people don't know, from the outside looking in, or even some of the people that create this music, they think it's really just putting together these rhymes and they're not telling stories. They're just putting words together. And, in the big picture, it's almost kind of like you got to write from point A to point B. Okay, how am I going to get the story to point B? And a lot of cats missing the boat on that. And, people are reliant, don't get me wrong, you got to have dope beats, but your beat shouldn't always be like shouldn't be dependent upon the lyrics. In other words, it should kind of go hand in hand together.
I've seen it. I've been at open mics for years. I seen this one open mic. It was full of a bunch of shitty ass rappers. And one day the microphone machine stopped working. So the mic still worked, but the beats wouldn't. Oh, half them niggas left.
Damn.
I watched them. They was like, yeah, we can't get the stereo to work, but if you just want to spit acapella, he was like, I'm good. Have me my CD. Give me my shit. No. Because they know I ain't saying nothing. And if I don't got that beat down behind, then I am ass. I'm one of those people. There was this white rapper. He got popular during the LimeWire era because his shit was just downloadable on there, named Benefit. And I used to listen to him. And I used to be like, that's the type of rapper that you should be afraid to run into. He would spit multis in a way. He had battle bars. And I said, these beats are shit.
So like he rapped like Disaster?
Nah. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I guess that's a good comparison. And it's one of those things I'm just like, yes, that's the type of MC I want to be. I want to be the type of rapper where other rappers listen to him and be like, how the fuck he think of that? How he come up with that? And then, of course, I came up on Big L, too. So the whole horrorcore aspect, saying some shit. You can't kill me. I was born dead.
King, but coming from where we come from, especially Baltimore, being on the East Coast in the area in which we came into rapping, like ciphering was a thing. It was mandatory. Battling wasn't optional. It was mandatory.
Exactly.
It was real pride type shit. It wasn't like, oh, if you battle somebody, oh, they a better battle rapper than you. It's like, no, if he beat you, he a better rapper than you. You feel me? So it was like a real prideful thing. You had to be the best. And just Baltimore itself just breeds a lot of talent. You feel me? Like on the sports end and on the music end, it's a very competitive place. And I felt like when you bump our music, more specifically this album, you hear the hunger, you hear the love for our city, but you hear that competitiveness too. But it's not like we battling each other. You feel me?
Facts.
Like it's more like I feel like you know how CNN, Capone and Noriega doing a war report. That's what I feel. You feel me? Like that type of energy.
Absolutely. Baltimore is a competitive place. People like to say crabs in a barrel to try to make it seem like we're all trying to pull each other down. But what you're not looking at is it's actually a bunch of people trying to reach to the top. Everybody's just trying to get out, and niggas is fighting each other to get out. And that mentality exists in everything here. Some people, when they exercise it, it's through the street life, it's through the violence, through the negativity. What me and Skillz do track for track is like, no, this is the hunger. This is the I want out the barrel, bar for bar. It's one of the reasons I was blessed enough to join with DBL, because I was like, yo, there are some very talented lyrical brothers in this situation. I feel like I'm going to elevate them, and more importantly, they're going to elevate the hell out of me. And
yeah, iron sharpens iron, man.
Absolutely.
But it's just a hunger to be the best, yo. Only the strong survive it. So how do you not want to be the strongest?
Absolutely.
Like if you're not trying to be the best, I look at rap like boxing. I mean,
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man, and that's what a lot of cats, don't get is it's more than just creating the music. It's the drive to create, for one, and then what a lot of other niggas don't really see is like the whole networking aspect of it. Like you mentioned, you came down here to perform in Texas. Like that's a long way from Baltimore. And not just that, I'm always constantly seeing you do your shows, in the Baltimore area and surrounding areas, and then consistently seeing you drop projects. And I think a lot of this, goes hand in hand together. Like the clock don't stop with this music. You don't grind, you don't eat. And, 5-10 years go by, you still doing your thing, and somebody else that gave up, they end up turning to the biggest hater in the world, not wanting to see you succeed and everything, man. So like, I guess it's for both of y'all. How big do you think it is for an artist to, not only be able to network in their city, but also, to have the complete package in terms of networking in the city, be able to promote themselves, be consistent in terms of releasing music, videos, to, everything that comes with being with an artist?
The thing is that you have to have a strong mental fortitude, and out here, like, not to compare the music to the streets, but this is the one genre where the streets and the music intertwine. But like, you feel me? The weak get ate alive out here. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else gonna believe in you. You feel me? So in certain cases, you need to be your biggest fan. But as time goes on and you put in those 10,000 hours, people recognize it and people support it. And the thing that, especially with our type of music, this is like a thinking man's music. You feel me? Like this isn't for everybody. And I don't market it to everybody. I spit it to those who want to listen to the type. The thing is that hip hop, especially underground hip hop, is a seller's market. So I wouldn't make anything that I myself would want to purchase if I wasn't myself.
Yeah.
And I grew up listening to Sean Price, rest in peace. I grew up listening to Tame One, people like that. So I held myself to a very high standard as far as lyricism goes. And being somebody that loves underground hip hop, I know what the people want. You feel me? And even before, like Griselda, when Jeremiah J was doing his thing, Denmark Vesey, Quelle Chris, the whole like underground Detroit scene, Slum Village, like. So my point is that like being somebody that is extremely well versed and somewhat of a hip hop historian, like it's deeper than just like we have our own movement, DBL Records, we have our own movement, but it's deeper than just us. You feel me? We also carrying a torch, so to speak, as far as for the type of music that we do. And with that being said, like it's important to network. I don't do a lot of trash talk and nothing like that. I come from battling. My battle record is ridiculous. But the thing is that like you have to be able to network. I let the music speak so more so than anything else. I'd rather show you, and I can show you better than I can tell you. Anybody can say that they're the best. You're supposed to feel like that.
Yeah.
You feel me? But when you turn that microphone on, it becomes evident.
Right. For me, the city will support you, not the entire city, but that goes for anybody. The thing that all whack rappers have in common is a fan base. You can listen to the person. You could be like, yo, this nigga ain't got no bars, none. He still got a fan base because he's appealing to someone. We have our group who we choose to appeal to, that underground hip hop community, and they come out and they support. And the networking with them is the most important part. In my spoken word, to Angel Wing off of what Skillz said, it's one of those things where it's like I've won a lot of trophies and a lot of competitions nationally. And it's one of the things where you don't have to brag. I will upload this picture of me holding the trophy. So because of that, the city understands. We live in a very show and prove generation.
Yeah.
You can't tell nobody nothing no more. Yep. You got to show them. Oh, you driving this? Let me see a picture. You dating a girl like this? Let me see a picture. If you really can rap, they want to see it. And I think me and Skillz have both put in a lot of work to show people, not even just like, oh, I'm gonna show you into your face and shit. It's like, no, like, yo, when we show up to these shows, the type of hip hop we're doing, the type of MCing we're doing, the type of lyricism we're displaying is the proof. I have been in recording studios. I've been in recording studios with niggas who, battle rap niggas came in there to record and they was like, yeah, I would never want to fuck with that nigga. And I'm like, exactly. We make the type of music that humbles the average ear. And that's akin to the time, the dedication, and the work that we've put in. But because of that, our city understands who we are and the type of movement we have. And networking is always important. But I feel like the work is the network. The more work you put out, the positive, the talent, the greatness of it cannot be hidden. So because of that, the city must support.
Yeah, man. With what you guys got going as far as with DBL Records, like the other thing I guess that impresses me from my standpoint, like you guys have a label, you all support each other, you're all in each other's projects, and there's no egos, everybody all eating. And you don't see that too often these days. I've been a part of.
A lot of people want to lead groups, but a lot of people that want to lead said groups, they don't really have a group mindset. It's more so like I want people under me doing what I want them to do, but I'm gonna get all the shine. I'm cool with holding the camera. I go to shows, but I'm not even performing sometimes. Or I'll make the beats. I don't even have to rhyme on the song because I made the beat. You know what I'm saying? I believe that we all bring things to the table, and I feel like I can help. Like certain individuals who got put in the squad, I felt like I knew that they could rhyme, but I felt like they weren't in the proper situation, what they were trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that I could help, increase the shine to their platform and things of that nature. Like a person that I look at, like you were talking about earlier about how there's certain MCs who they may not be that technically skilled, but they have fan bases. A lot of people can rap, but a lot of people don't have the work ethic to see this music thing through. You know what I'm saying? Like a big inspiration to me, like as you said, we run a label, we design the CDs ourselves, press the CDs ourselves, we have shirts, hats, things of that nature, stickers, all types of different types of merchandise. My point is that growing up, like I didn't understand Master P till I got older. But I knew he was a hustler. I always respected his grind and his vision and his different business ventures with as far as his music. I didn't get it. And I got older and I listened to the stuff from the 90s and it's like, oh, in the 90s, he was really talking that, you feel me? But my point being is that he might not be considered a top lyricist, and I wouldn't consider him a top lyricist either. But the thing is that he out hustled a lot of people and people had no choice but to respect the hustle.
Yeah. I think the key to a successful group is first the understanding leader. And I think that's what Skillz brings to the table. I think Skillz has a lot more. He's younger than me. Skillz has a lot, and at his young age, not that it's a detriment. His young age, he understands a lot. He understands a lot about people. He understands a lot about business. I have never met someone who I was like, man, like you really understand how hip hop is supposed to work. Not just in the sense of lyricism and beat making, but he understands how an MC should move, how a person should move. And I think he's the fairest leader that I've ever been under, to the point where like he make a decision and he'll be kind enough to be like, yo, you can challenge my decision. We can have a conversation about it. And I was just like, yo, you were so kind and not asshole-ish in your decision making. I don't even want to challenge it. I just don't. But that's just the sign of who he is. I see how he interacts with his people and how he interacts with the group. And what he does, like some of the things he implements. Like one of the things I've always been a fan of. So we have a group, and we had this feeling that everybody wasn't working as hard as they could work. So everybody wants to do another group album to sequel our first group album, Rappers Are in Danger, the Raid album.
You grab that CD, bro.
Right here. And so a lot of them are very excited. The good thing about being in a group, and I always tell them this, is in hip hop, you making a song, man, writing 3 verses and a hook. It's not the most time consuming thing, but it's very time consuming, especially if you got to do it 17 times, 13 times, 10 times. With the group, write 1 verse, everybody write another verse, album done.
Yep.
You can write 10 16s and you have a whole album.
Yep.
And for me, when I was coming back to hip hop, that's what I wanted. I wanted to work with the group. I wanted to be able to do hip hop, but not overexert myself. And a group gives you that opportunity. So a lot of people are excited to do a group album, but Skillz had the wherewithal to say there will be no group album until every single member drops an individual album. He wants to see you work on your own and not use the group as a crutch. Now, we could all be features on your album and stuff like that, so an album shouldn't be that hard to make. And when he instituted that, I was like, this is extremely genius, because it'll show you who's ready to work and who's not. And he could have just been like, you're not working hard enough. But he didn't choose to go that route. He was like, I'm going to give y'all a fair challenge as MCs. And for me, that's what makes the group work, the type of leadership you're under. I think the group will always reflect this leadership. And I think one of the reasons I work so hard is because Skillz works so hard. So it has a lot to do with the leadership.
Now, as a group, when y'all get these albums and these projects done, because some of the things that we used to do, I don't make too much now as a group. I make certain tracks with maybe features with certain artists, but like as a group, do y'all kind of connect with each other when y'all done with the albums and listen to the albums and provide feedback for each other? Like, how do y'all necessarily build?
Well, a lot of the recording we do with Skillz. So a lot of the albums he's going to hear, essentially because he's behind the computer. And me and Skillz make a lot of music together. Skillz is ridiculous. This nigga is I don't know what the fuck this thing is. This nigga is crazy, bro. This nigga is crazy. He made an album in a weekend. I left for 2 days. I came back. This nigga had an album, and I was disgusted because I was like, this album is real good. And then I realized I ain't on it. And that shit was like, oh, fuck, you made this good ass album without me. I was like, I went through a lot of, I was like, ooh, all the stages of grief.
He was gone. He was gone at a poetry competition for 2 days. And when he got back, we did the photo shoot for Liberated Scarfaces. So we get back in the whip. And I took out the Liberated Scarfaces CD, and then I put in, so the album he's talking about is called Raw Raps. That's going to be dropping in February.
That shit is ridiculous, by the way.
Man. He's on it now, for real.
Yeah, I had to get on it. But no, I think that process is very interesting for us when it comes to like listening to everybody's music, because like we were all there for the process. Mm-hmm. Mikelopedia is one of the members. It's my nigga, and I told Mike, "Why the fuck do you?" Because Mike is a rapper. Mikelopedia is pure. It's like somebody extracted all the bullshit from hip hop and just kept the bars and turned him into a person, and that's who Mikelopedia is.
No, Michael rap 5 in the street, no hooks,
no breaks. Perfect. And he used to do this drunk, by the way.
Yeah,
drunk on stage.
Man,
and it's certain niggas. The music they make, you could do drunk. Yeah, sure they got.
He don't take pauses.
He don't take pauses. He don't make fast music.
Memory and breath control.
Super lyrical. This shit is crazy. We just did a show a couple months back, and there's a artist called Icon the Guy in Baltimore. And we were having a conversation. Mike started rapping. We stopped the conversation and started looking at this nigga. This nigga Icon said, "This motherfucker's really a monster." I said, "Yo, he's really crazy." But so I talked to Mike, and I'm just like, "Nigga, why you want to make a whole album without us?" I said, "Yo, you putting your listeners through a lot." because you just 10 tracks, me, 5 minutes each track. I'm just like, if that's what your listeners want, sure. But it's like, yo, you got us, bro. We can do hooks for you. We could listen, man. You could just have me as a poem on that motherfucker, bro. Like, we here. You
He'll
like,
rap over a hook,
yeah, he do not give a fuck.
Mike don't
He
care.
do not give a fuck.
He'll
So
rap over
it's one of those situations where
He
it's
can
like,
make the beat and put a hook on that bitch. He'll rap over the hook.
he'll be like, nah, start me somewhere else. It's like, no, nigga, stop rapping over the hook, you crazy 40 bar nigga. But no, I say all that to say the process is different for so many of us. Some of us are just used to this idea of like super focused. Not that he doesn't love to be on features. Mike loves to be he loves to feature.
Mm-hmm.
But on his albums, he don't even look at us. So it's an interesting process. And for me, I'm going to say it. I'm never making a rap album without Skillz. Like every time I make a rap album, this nigga getting a phone call. It don't make no sense. If you know a talented lyricist,
I ain't got to rap, bro. I can just make the beats.
No, fuck that. No, I do. When you know a talented lyricist, I mean that's the good thing about being in the group. I don't have to pay no features. Niggas be like, yeah, yo, yeah, I had to get this nigga to feature because this, that. I said, oh no, I just looked to my left. I had a situation recently. I sent this track to these two brothers, very talented lyricists. But I realized there's something we cut from a different cloth. Mm-hmm. I sent them the track and I needed a verse. Like just to put in perspective, niggas send me a track. I send the verse back to them either that night or no more than 2 days. That's how long niggas wait for my track, for my verses. Mm-hmm. Niggas be like, damn, I just sent this to you. Yeah, I was in the studio. So it got recorded. Ransom sent me a track once. He sent it at like 2 p.m. He got it back by 5 o'clock.
Wow.
And I sent him a version of the track with a poem, and then I sent him a version of the track with a rap verse. It's like, yeah, nigga, like, no, I really work around here. So they didn't get me back their verses to this day. So I wanted to release this song on my album. So we in the studio, and Mike Lapedia there, and I said, Mike, you want to hop on this? He wrote his verse on the spot, recorded it, great verse, killed it. That's what I mean as a group. Like that type of levity that you get with people. Nah, man, I don't think I could ever give that up. So, like, that's kind of what our process is like when it's like listening to each other's stuff. We're just all woven into each other's projects, except for Mike's.
Yeah, that's kind of like, talking about P earlier, but, that's how No Limit kind of did it back in the day. They would all appear on everybody's albums.
And it's a good motto.
And
it's a good motto. It is. I put all my niggas on every time I drop an album, and vice versa. They put me on every time they drop an album.
Yeah.
I filmed this documentary over the summer, and the people hit me up, and they was like, "Hey, we need some music for the documentary." I sent them Skillz music. I sent them Trey Bless music. I sent them my music. I sent them my niggas first. I even called Baltimore rappers who I know and singers like, hey, can I send these people your music? And they said, yes. Yo, ain't no reason. The reason all these niggas is famous and shit like that is because somebody said, hey, I'm going to help promote your shit. I'll do a story, but I might put, I don't rap no more as music on my story. I'll put Skillz music on my story and shit. Even if it's 80 cents a play, it's still something for somebody and shit like that. So like that should be what a group is. My job is to put you on with my niggas.
Yeah, man. And it, some way, somehow it'll always come back to, somebody that you might have done something for in the past. They might get connected and, return the favor later on down the line. So you just never know, man. Liberated Scarfaces. So got a chance to bang that earlier today. And man, I say first and foremost to slap the whole way through. What stands out to me, man, I liked In the Heat of the Night, and then also Don't Sound Fly to Me. That was two of my joints right there, man. But what was your inspiration behind creating this album?
Both me and Skillz are lyricists who are inspired by the 90s era of hip hop. Both Wu-Tang fans.
Yeah.
So with the song, the original song is called Incarcerated Scarfaces. What a better way to make an ode to 90s hip hop than to call ourselves free. liberated. Like the music that raised us is the reason that we can be the MCs we are now. So that's kind of the meaning behind Liberated Scarfaces. Like, no, we are no longer incarcerated. We have freed ourselves because that's what the music allowed us to do. So it kind of pays homage to that era. And then in the music that we record, it pays homage to that era. And in the very Raekwon and Ghostface Killer vibe between us, we pay homage. It's kind of a triple entendre in a way.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got, listening to it. Ghostface and Raekwon type vibes. Just listening to that album.
Man. I really appreciate that. As far as It Don't Sound Fly to Me, that was produced by Rod DeBliss from the labor department, very talented MC and producer. When I heard the beat, like the hook just came to me automatically, you feel me? I'm a big like KRS-One Boogie Down Productions fan, so I wanted to pay homage and flip the hook, you know what I mean? From The Bridge Is Over. And it was just like, I put my verse down, Chakra followed up, knocked it out the park, man. My personal favorite is probably like Mondam and Shame. But I love In the Heat of the Night also.
Yeah, In the Heat of the Night is probably my favorite song in the album as well. I think it was well produced. The way it was produced made it sound like we snatched it from 1993.
Yeah, shout out Save.
Yeah, it has a very 93 recorded sound to it, which like, it's, as far as listening to it, it's a track that makes me feel as close to like the era of Tribe Called Quest and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's one of the rare songs where I actually do the hook and shit. He was Hook Monster on that album. This nigga Hook Monster, like fucking Sugar Shane out this bitch. This nigga was so many hooks. So no, that's one of my favorite tracks. Oh, Don't Sound Fly to Me. First I heard his verse and I was like, okay, this is nasty. Then I heard the Don't Sound Fly to Me hook. I was like, oh yeah, man. But I think Tylenol is one of my favorite too.
Yeah, that was hitting. Man. Y'all got any like videos planned or have y'all shot any for this project?
They coming very soon. We're gonna make a video for Shane. We're gonna make a video for Ma Diamond. We're gonna make a video for Tylenol. We're halfway done the sequel to this album.
Yeah, the sequel is called Liquid Guns.
Okay. And when did this? I'm looking now at the date, 2022. Like it come out December or?
Oh no, Liberated came out in November.
November. Okay. Yeah, because you was on my show not too long before that.
Right.
Yeah, the first time. Yeah. Okay.
Skillz takes his Jamaican heritage to hip hop. This nigga, Skillz make 10 albums a day and just release one. You know what I mean? Skillz, this nigga, I'd literally be like, yo, I'm coming to record this track, which he's like, all right, cool. I just recorded this track for this one rapper in Zimbabwe. Me and this nigga making this album and shit. It's called From Africa to Baltimore and shit. And I'm just like, so when are you gonna finish that? He's like, oh, this is the last song. I'm like, Skillz, when the fuck was you recording this? When was you doing this, Skillz? What the fuck you mean you done recorded the whole album in the middle of recording the album while we're middle of recording the album?
No, he done it. Like when we were in the car leaving the photo shoot, he was like, yo, what you mean you made a new album? Me and you just made a new album. I was like, yo, when you did, I was hanging out with Trey and we just, the Far Soul sent me like 40 beats.
That
Far Soul produced on it. Golden Arms produced on it. Like
when I hear Skillz work ethic is both like humbling and inspiring. Like I'm inspired like shit. Like I'm like, yo, I want to write harder. I want to write more. But I'm also like, God damn, nigga, what? I don't sleep. So what are you doing?
I don't sleep either.
Like what the fuck?
Like it ain't take you that long. What you made like Warzone Chronicles and like what? You feel me? Like nigga, you wrote that in one day, basically.
Yeah, nigga, I'm chasing after you, bro. The fuck, nigga, this nigga is outlapping me in the hip hop work. So I was like, okay, let me turn this up a little. Not that I don't have albums in the stash.
No, that's the thing too. Like people be like, you know, Webb, yo. Webb was like only person that dropped more than me is Youngboy. You feel me? We be cracking jokes, but that's like, yeah, I'm trying. I'm not lying.
I'm trying to go back to back. He's Youngboy. I'm Nick Cannon. I'm trying to drop way more than this nigga. I'm trying. Listen, I want.
It's like he eating watermelon, stay spitting new seeds. You feel me?
Like, nah, bro. But like that's one of the things, and I told the Skillz, like he reminds me of like why I like Griselda so much. I don't just like them because of their sound and their bars. Their work ethic is crazy. Every time you turn around, a month doesn't go by where a member doesn't put out some type of project. And I'm just like, yo, that's what I want from us. Hell, the thing that people romanticize about Wayne the most is his work ethic. That nigga released 240 mixtape tracks in 1 year. Like, say what you want about the lyrical ability, which I definitely think takes a back seat sometimes for Wayne. But god damn, that work ethic. Like, what, did you sleep in the studio? Did you ever leave? Like, so like also when you do a coup of fan base, they get to listen back through all of this material. It's not like, okay, I listened to that one album, I ain't got shit else to listen to. It's like, no, you're gonna be listening to Skillz tapes for a whole year. And then after you finish listening to all the Skillz tapes, you just missed a whole year of new ones. Cause that nigga dropped 12 tapes a week.
No, me and Chakra both have multiple albums in the stash right now.
Oh, fuck yeah. I still got Kaiser Soze coming out. I still releasing Sharpshooter. And this Liquid Guns, bro. Yeah, we both did an individual album. We did Liberated Scarfaces, and then we did an individual album, and then we came back to do a group album, and it's getting done faster. It was like it's really insane. It's really insane.
Bro. We only got 3 songs left for it.
Holy shit,
that's
crazy.
I still gotta send y'all some shit, man. Like,
oh yeah, hell yeah, what?
Yeah, man. Been wanting to work. In fact, I'm gonna be touching base with all the guests in the next couple of months or so. I want to get a compilation done with just people that's been on the podcast. So I'm gonna reach out to y'all fellas whenever.
Yeah, you make beats?
Yeah, I make beats, man.
Shit, send us a beat. We'll hop on that shit. And I don't know, we'll call it CNN versus Mobb Deep and go crazy.
CNN versus Mobb. Yeah.
I'll send y'all a pack, man. Y'all could just whatever y'all vibe into, drop it.
Well, thank you.
No problem, man.
See, don't send us a pack. This nigga gonna do a whole nother album.
I'm not gonna
Hey, have at it.
Liquid Guns disc 2 and shit.
No, because people keep cracking jokes because Raw Raps is 15 songs right now, but it don't feel like it's 15 songs, bro. Like when you listen to it,
that's because this ignorant nigga hard beat come on. Doom, 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 doom. This nigga give you 16 bar song over. I'm like, oh, this nigga Skillz is disgusting. This nigga Skillz is disgusting. This nigga just hopped on this dope ass beat for 16 seconds and just like peace. They crazy. That's why they want more.
But I got to, because the thing is, like, that's the thing too. Even though we pump out a lot of music, the quality is first. If I said everything, and I try my best to say everything in a 16, I don't feel like dragging it out, and I don't feel like giving people filler either. So it's like, if I don't have that much to say, I'm not just going to force it. And then, like, we in the perk era now, so niggas' attention span is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to give you Dance with the Devil, like, shout out Immortal Technique, but like, you know what I mean?
Facts.
Like,
I'm mad. I know exactly what you mean by that. Damn, underground hip hop. That's crazy shit. Nah, he
New Year,
he starves himself to write.
Oh my god, he doing too much.
Like, he starves himself so that every time he raps, he sounds hungry because he really is hungry.
That nigga need mental.
He starves
that
himself,
nigga need mental health.
Like, he don't write unless he's starving.
I ain't starving shit. My fat ass eating. Fuck that. It's like, no, I'm on a diet, nigga. I just came from Hooters and I ate a salad. I don't know, yo. I feel like I've grown a vagina or some shit. This shit. Yo.
It's wild, man. 2022 is out. 2023 is in. As a creator, as an artist, anything you learned going from last year to this year, or anything you striving to do this year that you maybe didn't accomplish last year.
I'm striving to perform more. More so in the city. I performed in the city last year, but I feel like we performed more so outside of the city. But it went by so fast. Like, I don't know. I think that definitely we're gonna make more videos this year.
Absolutely.
See, I haven't even, like, we've been writing and recording, but I haven't really been making. I mean, I have albums in the stash though, but I haven't really been making that much music like recently because, like, I've been having to send out a lot of merch and things that I need to. So since I'm like running a business and I'm like running the sessions and all that, I haven't really been like, been making as many beats as I usually do. Like, I'm on the Kanye type shit where he was like, make 5 beats a day. So whenever I cook up, I try my best to make 5 beats. It's been like 2 or 3, but
And it's not always his fault and shit like that. He'll be in the middle of making a beat, and I'll be like, "Stop, we're recording to this now." So he has to stop the beat and then write a rap and shit like that. So there's that too. Beats be ridiculous,
man. What kind of shout outs do y'all have?
Oh, shout outs. Like, who do we want to shout out right now?
Yeah.
Shout out NASA. Shout out Teslan. It's Baltimore OG. That's my OG in the scene. Shout out Shaka Pitts. Lab Tech One, J Royale, Ill Conscious, Dirt Platoon, Guy Grams.
Shout out first and foremost to Jesus Christ, my savior. Shout out
the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Shout out to Carlos Muhammad, the Honorable Carlos Muhammad, and my mentor Carlos Muhammad from CCBC. Shout out to Slangston Hughes, Do More Baltimore. I just want to say I love my baby mama and all my mistresses she don't know about. I'm kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Hey,
I'm kidding. No, I can't afford the girl I got. I can't have no fucking mistresses. Mistresses cost money, bro. Shout out to my nigga Butter doing Life in the Box.
Man.
Shout out DNA, you feel me? Shout out the Black Arts District in Baltimore. Our album release party is coming up last week in January.
Go ahead, plug it.
I mean, that's all I can plug right now.
I got you.
We working on that venue detail.
I got you.
Yeah.
You'll never know. Shout out to him, man. Chase Ultra, Icon.
Shout out Trey Blast, Encyclopedia, Knowledge. I don't rap no more. And of course, Allah. I don't want no Muslim nigga to be mad at me. I'm sorry. I really do pray God. I don't want to.
You'll be leaving comments. Who is this?
Oh shit.
Father Clarence, aka Allah. No, man.
And where can our listeners, find all your music and your socials?
So you can find. So we primarily drop on major streaming platforms, but you can get physical. You can get merchandise, and you can get digital albums from our Bandcamp. So if you type in Liberated Scarfaces or you type in my name, our Bandcamp will come up. Black Chakra also has an individual Bandcamp.
Mm-hmm.
As far as social media goes, the group page is at DBL Records 2020 on Instagram, and my page is at D Skillz Harris on Instagram.
You can follow me everywhere but home. I'm Black Chakra 88, BlackChakra 88 on Instagram and Twitter. I don't be on Twitter like that, but go ahead and follow me. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, follow me on Instagram. That's where I post social shit like that. Follow the group, the DBL page, and get ready for this work, bro. 2023, we got so much rap to give y'all.
Yeah, man. It was definitely a pleasure, to have y'all on the show. Black Chakra, D Skillz, DBL Records, man. Anytime you guys got anything, just like you did, man, feel free to reach out, man. Definitely a pleasure having you on, and hope to get in some work with you guys as well. And peace and blessings to y'all going forward, man. And much success, man. I like what y'all doing. Keep it up.
Thank you. Same to you. Thank you for having us, man.
Oh man, no problem at all, man. To all the listeners of the Major Music Lounge, you could also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at D._Major Music. And as I said, you can catch new episodes of the Major Music Lounge. It's actually the first show of the new year. So you catch these shows on YouTube on my channel, D.Major Music, and then all podcast streaming platforms. If you're interested in getting on the show, hit me up on one of my socials and we'll make it happen. And until next time, it's your boy, D. DBL Records, and we are out.
All that I could be is me and nobody else. Get back what you put in. And only time will tell. Stay true to yourself no matter how times get. I don't want the spotlight, I just want profit. My outlet be the microphone or making beats. They ain't working, busy throwing shade in the tweets.